let's have a chat about do-it-yourself vegetable pots. Today, I'm going to show you a cheap and easy, if not free, way to handle all your garden needs with do-it-yourself vegetable pots. Let's get started. The only supplies you're going to need are very simple. I believe it's 4 supplies. One of them is toilet paper rolls. These things are worth their weight in gold. Now, I highly suggest you do this without the toilet paper on them. Go ahead and use the toilet paper for whatever you bought it for, but keep these things. These things are excessively useful in a garden, and it'll save you a ton of money. Next thing you're going to need is newspaper. Now, you can go to the grocery store and get the sale ads. Now, I'm not telling you to go in there and take a whole bunch of them, but what you can do is talk to the store manager, and usually they'll have the old ones that they're just going to throw away, and it's going to end up in a landfill, you know, and we need more of that, kind of like I need a root canal. And I want to point something out to you about the types of paper. You'll see these kind, it's got this glossy kind of sheen on it here. You don't want those. They're not very biodegradable, and they have some kind of lacquer sprayed on it, which I cannot imagine is very good for your plants or your garden. The other kind is regular old newspaper. It's porous, it's, you know, like regular newspaper. Now, don't worry about the color on it, okay? That's not a big deal. It's going to dissolve into the ground and into your soil. And in fact, you can use this to kill weeds. If you lay it down on top of the weeds and whatnot, it does the same thing. And it doesn't hurt the soil at all. And it'll even help your plants. The next thing you're going to need is a can of soup. Now, what I use is the 10.5 ounce can, okay? Doesn't matter what brand it is. The only thing I would suggest is make sure it's not too big, not too small. Like I said, I use the 10.5 ounce can. Works perfectly. This is not an endorsement of this product. I just need a can. However, if they want to endorse me and sponsor me and help out with my grocery bill, I'm open to that too. And last but not least, a pair of scissors. This is not a toy. It's all fun and games till somebody loses an eye. And you know what? I lied to you. There is one more supply you need, and that is a tray. I get these for about $5 a piece. Now, I will say, you go to a big box store and you get the seed starting tray, which is normally about 70 little trays, we'll say. That'll run you about 12 bucks. I can do this and a reusable tray for $5 and the price of seed starting soil and potting soil. Can't beat that. And what we have here is, like I said, the supplies. Now we're going to use them. We have the pair of scissors. We have a toilet paper roll. You're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut right in the middle of that toilet paper roll. It don't need to be perfect. It just needs to be effective and efficient. So we're going to cut that right down the middle. Now what we've got is two halves of the toilet paper roll, which will make 2 pots. We're going to take our scissors and we're going to cut 4 slots in there, about 1/3 the way up of the toilet paper roll. Hopefully you can get this on the camera. You can see what I'm doing here. So go equal distance on both sides and then flip it over and cut it again. So what we've got is toilet paper roll that's cut. So what you're going to do, you're going to take your thumb or any finger, I'll leave that up to you, and you're going to fold the side in. That's 1, oops, that's 2, rotate 3, and last but not least, the 4th side. Now, what you're going to do is treat this much like a cardboard box when you're packing and moving and you don't have any tape for the box. You're going to take this flap right here and you're going to tuck it in to the first flap that you did. And there you go. You now have a seed starting pot. Pretty simple. So now that we have acquired our material, we're going to take this little piece here, and you can do this a whole bunch at a time, okay? You know, like this is easier to do when you're kind of sitting down, maybe at the couch, watching reruns of 90210 or the Kardashians. All right, so we're going to open this thing up, and then you'll see it's creased right down the middle. We're going to take this, and we are going to tear it gently. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight, so don't get a bee in your bonnet over it not being exact. It'll work just fine. Okay, going to take that, torn that in half. And like I said, you can do a bunch of these at a time, but for the sake of this video, I'm just showing you one. So we're going to take that, we're going to fold it. Once again, does not have to be perfect. Okay, just get you a little crease there. Come over here and tear that down the middle. Put you some elbow grease in it. You can do about 50 of these at a time. Each newspaper here makes a total of 8 pots. So now that we got those, we're going to take one of these, just one. Now this is important. This will make your job a lot easier. Here we have a 10.5 ounce can. You have this ribbed edge here, okay? We want that on the outside, out here. So we're going to put this right here, right on the outside. We're not going to put that inside of the newspaper, and we're just going to roll. Once again, it does not have to be perfect. You can see you have the ribbed edge kind of sticking out, and this is why. I'm going to show you why. So first off, skip the step here. I'm going to take this newspaper. We're going to push that in. On that side, that's 2. That's 3. And last but not least, 4. Okay? This is where this is important. Take this ribbed edge, which is on the outside, and just slide it right out. Just like peas and carrots, like Forrest and Jenny. Works every time. Take that last end, shove it right in there. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, you now have a newspaper pot. But Chintzy, there's a hole in the bottom of my pots. All the stuff's gonna fall out. Don't get a bee in your bonnet. In the immortal words of Aaron Rodgers, relax. R-E-L-A-X. When you put soil in these, it's gonna plug that hole. Just pack it in, not too tight, not too loose. You ain't gonna have any problem. Now, once you have your plants potted, you're gonna wanna start in the seed starting trays, okay? And once you get a little plant growing in there, you can see some we got over here that I just planted. You're gonna wanna transfer that into the larger newspaper pot. You're gonna wanna put about half potting soil in the pot, and then put your seed starting pot in there, and then fill up the rest with potting soil. And just add it to your trays. It's very simple, very easy to do, and best of all, cheap. One thing I'm going to point out, when you start with the seed starting pots, you want to use seed starting soil, okay? In the newspaper pots, you're going to want to use potting soil. That will save you a lot of money. Seed starting mix is way more expensive than potting soil. Just another cheap tip for the day there. I want to show you a watering tip that'll help you. We have what we call the wick system. We don't water these straight on the top. We pour the water in the container, not onto the plant. So I'm going to show you right here. You're just going to fill up that tray with about an inch of water, and then give it a look. See how much water the plants are soaking up there. If they need more, give them more. And what you'll have eventually is this right here. Okay? See, the trays and the pots and all that, they soak up the water. So you're not displacing the seed, the soil, or compacting the soil. This is what works best. You don't water it on top. However, I will say, take a mister and kind of mist the top so the soil gets a little moist on top. It's just that simple. So what we've done here is we showed you how to make your own pots without having to go to the store and buy a bunch of materials. So this is the good, cheap way to do it. Now I will say, if you have a better and cheaper way to do it, by all means, please share it with me and let me know in the comments. There is no such thing as plagiarism when it comes to gardening. If you have a better idea than I do, there is no shame in me taking it and using it. If my idea works for you and is better than one you have, by all means, steal it, call it your own, and run with it. So don't forget to like or subscribe to the channel. It helps us produce more content, so that way you can learn from me and I can learn from you. And don't forget, we were created on purpose for a purpose. Be your purpose. I'm Chincy Barato. Until next time, out.